All right, we're working on the fishing boat with the hill sky background and making a paste into file where we have substituted the sky from one image and put it into the sky of the other. You can see over here in our layers panel how we did that. Started off with this image. We selected all of this sky, easy to select with the magic wand. We put a layer above it with the hill sky picture that has this dramatic sky, and we pasted that sky into this space. It automatically created a mask for us in order to do that, and you can see the mask there. We extended the file with the crop tool and then corrected the mask and painted over painted out the black that was up here to extend our sky up this way. Then we imported the hill sky picture in once again, turned it upside down, and are now using it as a reflection. And we've been carefully erasing out all the boat parts that shouldn't have reflection on it. Here I've turned the layer up to maximum opacity. When I turn it down and then turn our layers back on, you can see it works pretty well as a reflection, especially on the water out here. I think it looks really pretty. Now we've got a few other places that we hadn't finished. I think here that buoy needs to be exposed, and so we'll get back in here with our eraser, making sure we're on the reflection layer. And we've been talking about using a soft brush and a big brush against the bottoms of the boat here to kind of let the reflection saturate a little bit better right up in that shadowy part under the boat. Okay, we've got a little buoy here that we need to use a hard brush on, and so I'll just erase that. Then an even smaller, a little line here we were practicing with click, shift, click in order to get those areas cleaned up that way. Okay, so we've gone all around the boat now and kind of cleaned it up. We're erasing reflection where it shouldn't be around the details of the boat. We've tried to do that all around here. We did it along this rigging with click, shift, click. Works really well. Click, shift, click, and you can see a little bit more of that kind of clean up right there. Looks like there might be a little support right here that I could take some of that off of. Okay, I accidentally turned on my sticky keys. That's what that noise was. With the sticky keys on, when I shift, you'll see a little shift icon come up here. And when I hit the option key and the command key, and they stay on for one move, it's for people that are using one hand to do their computing. I injured my elbow this summer and used it quite a bit. It was pretty handy. I use it in these demonstrations just so you can see that shortcut. Okay, so now let's say that it's all done. There's the reflection added in. You turn it, by turning it off and on, you can kind of see if you've done an adequate job. If you see anything that should not have reflection on it but still does, you can take it off at this point. Okay, so I'm going to turn that back on. We've got our reflection looking good on the water. One other thing that we did was we added a blur layer, and for this, it's really to make this sharp edge look a little bit more natural and less cut out. Here's how you do it. Just pick the bottom layer, the one that I called boat, and create a new layer. Use your blur tool, which is over here, and then make sure that this option is turned on. Sample all layers. Because what you want to do is just run that blur tool over this edge where the two images touch. And you can see the results almost immediately. It just takes away that edgy, cutout looking quality and blurs the two layers together, kind of seams them together. You can use your shift, click shift, So what I'm doing now, I'm just holding the shift key down and drawing straight lines. You can see it kind of fixing it up as I go. If you need to go more than once, you can just go back and forth with the shift key down. Or you can just run your mouse over it, like scrubbing it, kind of. That works too. You can see how it makes those hills kind of look like they're more attached to the sky. And over here, use a brush just big enough to get a little bit from the background layer and a little bit from the foreground layer. In fact, I'll turn off those other layers, and you can see all I've done is just borrow a few blurred pixels from the top layer and the bottom layer, and it just makes them look a lot better. All right, that's looking better. All right, next, what I've got here is several pictures on top of each other. In fact, if I use my selection tool and just select everything, turn on my show transform controls, you can see that this picture, this upside down reflection picture, extends all the way down here. The picture for the sky extends all the way out to these edges here. Well, after I expand my canvas, I don't want those edges to show. And so there's a precaution you can take here. Click on your crop tool, okay, and you'll have to move it just a little bit. I'll move it this way. I'll come in here a little bit, if it'll let me. Just coming in slightly on the image right there. In fact, you can almost just put it back on the edge that you had it on. It's mainly moving it that sets up the crop, so it kind of knows that it needs to crop something. So you move it just a little bit, then you commit, right, with the commit button up here, and you'll see those edgy bits kind of disappear. Now if I select everything with show transform controls turned on, now I missed a little bit down here, I probably ought to fix that. I'll go back to my crop tool, and you can see where I missed just a little bit right here. Okay, and then another commit, and that should do it for me. Okay, I no longer have those kind of hangy over parts to it anymore. I know they're kind of invisible and maybe a little bit hard to see here, but they were there. Now I want to expand my canvas. Same tool, the crop tool, right? This time, bring it down this way, bring it up this way, and give yourself a little bit of extra here on the left. Why? Because we're going to put the before images over here. Now I've got my delete cropped pixels turned on. That helps give me this white background that we like. Maybe it doesn't. Evidently I had the layer unlocked, so we don't get that. We'll get transparent pixels no matter what we try to do here. Okay. In the classroom earlier, we had that layer locked. I guess I unlocked it here. Remember, when you unlock it and you commit, you end up with transparent background. That's okay. We'll just add another layer. How's that? I'm going to click right way over here on the Create New Fill, Solid Color. I want to use white for this. And I want to take it to the background layer. All right, so now you've got, I'm recording again. So now you've got the composite image on the right, and with all of the edges trimmed off of it. Nice. We want to go back in now and open our from our class photos, the original pictures that we used to get this all started. We used the fishing boat. Press the command key, you get the hill sky. You can select those two at a time, just like that if you want to. Hold the command key. Okay. So now I've got my hill sky, my fishing boat, and my paste into, and you can see them all up there in tabs. If you're not working in tabs, if you're working in this black background mode, the second mode, you can still find all of your files that you have open at the bottom of your window drop down. Okay. All right. So even if I don't see the tabs, I can still get to them. I want to select this entire image, Command A, and copy, and then I can close it. I'm through with it. I want to go to my paste into file, and I want to paste it. Now, depending on where you had your layers, where you had what layer you added last, which was our background layer, it's going to come in there. I just need this to go up to the top. Now, if you had your layers locked, like I thought we did, that probably would have come in on top anyway. All right, so now I've got this. I want to turn on my Show Transform controls up here on the upper left. I want to make this a little smaller. Be sure to hold the Shift key. I don't like for the files to be distorted. Okay, all right, so now I've got that. I want to commit to that. I'll go back out to my fishing boat picture, same thing, select all, Command A, copy, Command C, close, Command W. And then over here, paste, Command V. Okay, now you want these pictures to be roughly the same size. So I'm going to bring it down here. I know it's off the canvas, but I'm just going to bring this up. Again, holding the Shift key, I match it in just like that. Okay, now it looks a little bit too close in the middle, so I'm going to tap it down. Now, with a Shift key again, I will apply that, and then I will Shift and select here. Now I've got them both selected. It's level at the top. I'm going to move them at the same time with the Shift key down, and I can match them so they're exactly the same height-wise there. All right, you'll commit to that. You can deselect. You can see the image that I've got. We just needed to add the crop. Add the crop. Make it look good. Even up your border. That background color that we're using there is available to us and will expand or reduce no matter what you do. So I'm going to commit to that. There is one advantage to having the background color, of course. You can change it. If you decide to change the color, you can double click on it and make everything a different color. Remember, you can even pick from within the picture itself if you want to do that. Okay. All right. So now I've got this. I simply go to the, I'll want to rename all my layers. This one, original fishing boat, something like that. This is the sky, the original sky. I've already got that one, reflection. This one is my blur layer. This one is my boat, and this is the background color fill. Okay, to add text to the file, suggest that you pick the top layer here. We've done that before. Collect the type tool, and wherever you click, trying to catch up here. Wherever you click, we'll apply a color. Be careful. I have a brown that's selected up here. I really would rather have black, so I'll type in my hexadecimal equivalent for black. It's 000. And now I'll type it in. These are my original images. Okay, and I'm going to make that so it's not bold. Don't need the bold. Just want it to be a label. Okay, and commit to that. Text tool. Click for the next text layer. This is my composite image with paste into and blur. Okay, I always suggest that you click on both of your type layers and then use the Align panel up here to make sure that they're even with each other horizontally. then deselect. You can now move them with your keys, your arrow keys, until you get them lined up just the way you want. That's how we finish up the paste into file.